Hi, welcome back to CMD Forex Lessons. This is class master class, in fact, for beginners, right? Beginners for forex trading. So we have treated a number of the episodes. We have treated three episodes, and this is the fourth one. Now the fourth one is on trading sessions. If you are new, please start from the beginning of the training session. Now I touched on the time that you can actually take how the market is open, the duration that the market is open from Monday to Friday, right? Saying that it's open 24/7, right? So we are going to look at it in the index, right? So that is the main focus of this video. The time that you can actually trade, right? Even though the market is open 24/7, like from Monday to Fridays, it doesn't mean you can trade all the time, right? There are times that it is what advisable to trade, and there are times that it is not advisable to trade, right? So we have sessions, right? So this session you can choose which one is best for you. The time that you think you are mostly profitable, then you choose that session, then you trade. So that we are going to look at it. We have about 5 of them or 4. Like yes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, we have 4 of them, right? So we have that's what we are going to treat now. Now, first, I would like to take us a little bit back to geography. Some of some of you remember longitude and latitude, of course, right? I think it's not all of us here that are geography students or whatever having an idea about geography, but at least you know what is time. At least you know what is time. So that is it. Now, longitude is determined is what is used to determine the time of each country in the world. Remember? Now, similar thing has even happened in this book, right? So what it means that as I'm doing this, yeah, the time that I'm actually doing this video, let me look at the time. The time that I'm actually looking at this, doing this video is 12 8 12:08 Tuesday, right? 12:08 Tuesday, 28th November, right? So it could be that at this moment, the time that we are also, uh, if supposing I'm doing this video live, right? My time at your end may differ, right? So that is based on the continent or whatever. So that's what we are talking about. So it's just as simple as that. Don't think too much. So now let me take it from here. Now, so India or Pakistan will see the light of the morning many hours before our motherland Ghana, right? Zimbabwe and Namibia will see the light of the morning. This reason, this reason above affects forex also, and that's why we have different trading sessions, right? The timing is very different. The time that um um I may probably be facing now is different from your time, right? So that is the big guy. I don't want to talk too much, else the thing will bore. Now let's take it from Australia. Now Australia will be the first country to see the light of the morning, and then other countries like Japan, China, Saudi Arabia, Kenya, Italy will be following one after the other. Now, New Zealand and Australia are the most eastern nations in the world, right? But in Forex world, Australia is more recognized than New Zealand. That is why I said Australia is the first country to see the light, not geographically. But I'm using Forex language that way. Now, don't forget, as they normally say, the sun rises from the east, which quite compels me to recommend a song. Just by the way, I don't want to bore you now. Don't forget, these countries have companies with what employees, right? Every country has company, and then the company with employees. The time that they have to visit, come to work, and then the time they have to close, right? Now these times will differ from one country to another, depending on the weather, like the climate. So certainly, it is the employees of certainly it is the employees of these companies that will sit in front of the mainframe computer and push the buy or sell buttons for their company. Now, let me ask you, with these or with those employees not go home, certainly the company must close and resume the next day. So they will always have night workers. Majority of the people will have to go back home, right? So we are talking about the normal lifestyle of the human life, right? The human race. We go to work in the morning, in the day, I should say, and then at in the evening we close, we go, right? But every country and their time different. So that's what we are looking at. Now, not only that, other companies buy and sell currency during working hours because that's when they might need to buy goods from other companies from other countries. You understand that you have to involve in what in national what transaction, trading, buying from one country. So that is it. Now, and all these trades affect the GDP of the country, right? Gross domestic product, that is it, of the country. And when the if you don't know what it is, you can look it up on Google or YouTube. And when the company of a country is affected, automatically the currency will feel the impact too. And working hours of any country usually fall in between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Right? So the traders also, either we trade, it also affects us. Because the time that you wake up to do your analysis and actually trade, it will be affected. You are also a worker. That is it. So we are still talking about the fact that different countries or different continents have different time, sessions or climates. So that's what we are talking about. Now, this explanation actually concerns the retail traders more. So whatever we are doing it for the retailer, you, the trader, the amateur. No matter the country you are in, right? As human beings, your most active time will always be the day, isn't it? Now, definitely you will want to execute trades when you are active and not when you are asleep. So that's why for a particular currency, let's say the South African rand, the South African rand, right? That's the money they spend. As a South African, you might, but you want to trade your currency during the day and sleep in the night, right? And obviously, many more people like you want to act the same way, banks inclusive, and other companies. So volatility of a particular currency will be at its peak when the citizens of that country, in fact, they are active in the day. So that's what it means. So if in the morning the currency of that particular currency will be traded more. Don't worry, we have a look at that. We have a proper arrangement for that. We look at the session. So I'm just waiting up for that, giving you an idea of what, yeah, what is before us, ahead of us. So that is it. Now, um, now, guys, all these are just to give you more explanation. Yeah, like I said, more explanation to the trading times or sessions. We are moving on to the sessions now. In fact, the actual session that we are supposed to do. So now with this volatility, I think I will touch on it again, but I think I've given you the idea, the fair idea of what volatility means, right? It's when huge volumes of money, huge amount of money or currency, right, or currency peg is traded. Now it is traded because the countries of that of those currency are what they are active. It is the day. It is a day in their country, right? So that currency peg will have a higher volatility. So this is one of the factors that, in fact, we have a sister or a brother called liquidity. This is what we'll be looking at in order to know when to trade, enter a market or not. So that is it. Now, now you don't expect Indians to trade dollars more than the Americans. the Americans, right? I'm Indian. How would I be trading more in what? So if I'm a Ghanaian, I do more of my buying and selling in what? In city. The same way applies to anybody in their country. Now, a country will trade its own currency more than any other person from anywhere else, from somewhere else. Hence, when the citizens of the country are in daylight, working hours, right, it has more weight on that currency. It's as simple as that, like I said. So let me know, let me just move straight here. So these are the trading sessions that we have. We have about five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some are within the other. They are one, they are merged into the other. Don't worry. So basically, we have four of them. We have four of them. We are going to look at them very well. Now, so the first one is what? The Sydney session. We have the Tokyo session. We have the London session. We have the Frankfurt session. And then we have the New York session. Right? So we have five of them. We are going to look at them well. Now, please take note or note them down. They are very important, and if you don't have them at your fingertips, you can't successfully trade the forex market. That's why I'm taking my time to explain very well. You will most likely not see any other than that. You may not, because the main idea of your mentors or people, the teacher, is to give you the technical analysis, the chart, where how you can do your analysis. By giving you these things, sometimes it's boring, right? But just stick with me. And boring, so they just take these things and then they zoom into what onto the chart, which I think is wrong, because you have to know your the ins and outs, right? Your whereabouts of whatever you are doing. You have to know it. So that's my people. To stick with me. Now, someone might think maybe we are representing the country by their capital. No, not necessarily their capital. It is the city in that country where their foreign transactions are chiefly done, right? To every country, the cities that uh, greatly involved or engaged in what the forex trading is what they are listed, but not the country and their capital. No. Now, the section names are derived from the major cities in which most of the transactions in forex are done, right? It is said that the majority of all forex transactions put together are conducted by these five countries. Yes. Now, and these cities are, at the financial capital of financial capital of those what countries. For example, Washington is the capital of the United States of America, but we say New York section because New York is the headquarters, right? Is the headquarters of anything relating to the finance of America. Do you understand? Even though I know that Washington is the capital of the US, yet we are not using that. But New York is rather what the section that is listed here, because that's where the headquarters for the finance whatever is what located. Then we look at the Australian capital is what Canberra whatever now, not Sydney. Australia, the capital is Canberra. Yet we listed Sydney. Why? Sydney, because Sydney is what the financial headquarters of what Australia. It's as simple as that. Now Berlin is the capital of Germany, but we say Frankfurt because that's the headquarters of everything concerning finance in Germany, right? So that is it. Now, let's do that. Now, Sydney section represents Australia. Sydney represents Australia and other countries around the time zone, right? This is just a reading, just take note of that. Tokyo session, sometimes called Asian. Yeah, Tokyo, you see that. Normally, some people even mention this. Instead of the Tokyo, they mention the Asian session instead of the Tokyo. So Tokyo session, sometimes called the Asian session, represent Japan. Tokyo is in Japan, right? So that is it. Now, and some of the Asian countries. So it's a matter of the headquarters and the countries around it. So you usually look at what the Eurozone. The Eurozone is not spent by only but around a number of countries, consisting of the European countries. So you understand. Now, the Frankfurt session, which is in Germany, represents Europe. Now, the reason being that in all Europe, Germany is the most dominant economy. You understand? This is quite confusing, but a bit, but also interesting. Frankfurt, which is in Germany, represents Europe. You understand? The reason being that in all Europe, Germany is the most dominant economy, right? And they are heavily involved in forex transactions. So the European Union accepted them to represent the whole Europe in the forex market. Make sure you keep them handy. Just with time you become abreast with that. You don't even force yourself too much. With time you become familiar with it. It's common. It's simple. Understand? So as you start trading and use them, they will become part of you and will not need to be referred, like I said. So the Frankfurt section contains the euro currency, right? And more so, as I said earlier, the central bank of the European Union that prints the currency called euro is in Frankfurt, Germany. Swiss franc is also under euro, right? Switzerland money, yeah, Switzerland, also under euro. But their section is still named Frankfurt section. You understand? When I move to the New York, represent Americans too. In other countries surround it like Canada, right? So that is it. Now, forex is actually a 24-hour market, right? A day, within a day, you trade the whole day, you can trade it the whole day. It's not like go to work at 8 a.m. and then closes at 5 p.m. No, you can actually trade the whole day, right? It is most times regarded as a market that never sleeps because it is open between 4 hours of the day, except on weekends. So there are 5 times in what session. Now, no matter where you are around the world, no matter your time zone, you can actually trade this large and high liquid market. Each session has their own opening and closing times, as I said it. Now, each 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 of the sessions, like we said, even though we said it is traded within 24 hours. Now, in the broad sense, forex market is actually traded what 24 hours, but we have sessions within them. So the sessions actually will have their opening and closing. So the session, we have 5 of the sessions, right? So at the time that one is closing, that will be the time for another market also what opening or closing. You understand? One is closing and then one is opening. One is closing and one is opening. At there are times that even two can actually open at the same time. Their timing just overlaps, just some few hours, right? So about two markets can actually open at the same time, and that actually constitutes what volatility. We also look at that, right? So when more markets open, there's great volatility, more money in the system. So that is what we are talking about. I think it's cool. Now, let me move here. Volatility, like I said, now volatility. Now, this is what many forex traders don't actually understand because nobody taught them. It's always good to trade the market when two different markets are open at the same time. Like I said, that is when two markets collide. This is because volatility is always more when two or more sessions are open simultaneously. In forex markets, more volatility means more money, more liquidity. That is now. Volatility means when many traders are transacting a currency or commodity at the same time. You understand? So many traders are actually buying or selling a particular currency. So that will make that currency volatile. That is the meaning. Now, the reason why oil is very volatile is because many people are trading it, right? The reason why Bitcoin is volatile is because many people are trading it. We have heard in the news and then among the friends that Bitcoin is going up. Bitcoin is buying. Bitcoin is increasing. It's in the uptrend. So that is it, right? So doing that will make that currency or that commodity very volatile. As a forex trader, right? I'm here. As a forex trader, you wouldn't want to trade a market that is not volatile because there won't be much fluctuation. Fluctuation means the up and down of what movement of the price, changes in pricing, right? That is it. And it's those movements that make money for us. It's simple as that. So it gives just a graphical representation. Like I said, when it takes let's say Sydney for instance, right? The numbers they represent what the hours that the market actually opening and closing. So for Sydney, this is the time range here and here. Now, even when you look at Tokyo, Tokyo also opens you see what is happening. Now, when you take the London here and here, right, we have another representation, don't worry. And then we have the New York here, right? So you see. In fact, Sydney is from 0 to 6, right? Tokyo is from 0 to 8. So let me clear this wall so that you can actually have a better look at it. Right. So Sydney 0 to 6. Look at the light shaded blue, not the circular or the oval shape, the ellipse shape. No, I'm not talking about that. Look at the lighter shaded area. So 0 to 6. Right. Sydney Tokyo also from 0 to what? 7. Here. London 6. London what? Look at here. London from 8 to 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Right? We come back to this chart again, don't worry. Right? And then we have New York. New York from 1 p.m. Yeah, 1 p.m. to in the morning 9. So you see, this is it. The Sydney even okay, the Sydney also start from here, and then it comes close here. So that is it. Now this circular, I'll come back to you, and then this circular part represents what? Where there's a collision, right? Where both are what? Open. Two markets are open at that time. So you see that those areas are what? The liquidity what? Period. So this time, if you actually can monitor your time, you know your time sessions, and you trade within this session, you can actually make it because there's higher volatility. So that is as simple as that. That's what it means, right? So don't trade because don't just trade because you want to trade. Look at the time sessions. So you have to, me for myself, I have these time sessions as my wallpaper on my PC. My wallpaper on my PC. So I have that, and then with some other candlestick patterns, right? The candlestick patterns, they are in the intermediate what series, right? So I always the moment I see them, I think to get what printed into my memory, right? So I know them often. So that is what it means. So this will be the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment if anything you want us to touch or pay attention to. Right? You don't know everything. You can also teach us. So you don't need to be harsh and then a bully. Thank you very much. Like and share. Subscribe. See you in the next episode. Bye.